housing. We're just a couple minutes away from our show, but before we begin, we wanted to let you know that one of the primary goals this evening is to raise funds. Mercy Housing is one of the nation's largest affordable housing providers. In particular, Mercy is known for their innovative work in providing program-enriched housing that doesn't just offer roofs and walls, but tools and supportive communities to help individuals and families reach their full potential. The funds raised tonight will support that mission. To give, just head to the Just Imagine GiveSmart webpage. You can open this page in a separate browser window on your computer or tablet, but we would recommend opening it on your phone. It works with all iPhone and Android devices. If you're already registered to give, you should be receiving automated GiveSmart texts or emails that will direct you to the donation page. If you haven't received those texts or emails, don't worry. To donate, just head to justimagine.givesmart.com or text Just Imagine, all one word, to 76278. To get to the donation page, just type in justimagine.givesmart.com in the URL window of your browser. Again, that's justimagine.givesmart.com. Once you're here, the page will look something like this on your phone, tablet, and computer web browsers. Before you can fund a need or raise a virtual paddle, though, you first have to register. So click the small Sign In or Register button in the upper right-hand corner to do so. When you register, we would encourage you to sign up to receive text alerts. We'll only send messages during the show tonight, and these messages will alert you to special news and opportunities that will pop up throughout the evening. Once you're registered and signed in, you can come back to the homepage and click this button to fund a need. It shows exactly what your donation will be used to fund, whether it's a $25 housewarming gift or $500 to fund a property's food pantry. Back on the homepage, you can also click this button to raise a virtual paddle. The paddle raising portion of the show will happen early on. This is a fun part of the evening when host Reggie Rivers will detail what transformative gifts can do for Mercy Housing, and he will call out these donors in real time and challenge others to best them. It's a fun, interactive portion of the evening, and we thank anyone who might be able to participate. Back on the homepage, the final donation option is a simple donation. Choose from one of the options here, or enter a custom option below. Large or small, whatever you can give tonight will help us address our nation's affordable housing crisis. We will track these donations and recognize as many of our generous donors as possible as we move throughout the show. That's it, folks. Sit back and relax, and we hope you enjoy Mercy Housing's Just Imagine virtual celebration.
I imagine a world where little Black and brown kids can feel that they are accepted by society. I imagine a world where folks that live in low-income housing are basically given the same opportunity that everybody else is given. Yeah, I just imagine a world where everybody gets treated with respect, dignity, and just feel like they are worth something in this world.
Welcome to Mercy Housing's 2020 Gala. I am Linda Worthman, a Sister of Mercy and Chair of the Board. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome you to this journey of imagination. To just imagine a gathering in this virtual space of the countless women, children, and men who since 1981 have called Mercy Housing home. They are our cloud of witnesses as we imagine what can be accomplished for persons in need of affordable, quality rental housing within compassionate communities. Imagination could not have taken wing over these last 40 years unless those who have shepherded this ministry in governance, management, and the daily essential work in the Mercy Housing developments had hope. Not a vague hope, but a hope that is passionate and courageous. I was recently reminded of a quote. Hope has two daughters, anger over what is and courage to make them what they need to be. Tonight, I invite us to tap into passionate anger at the lack of affordable housing for an estimated 7.2 million women, children, and men. It was that realization, that awakening, that gave the first sisters who founded Mercy Housing the courage to imagine and take on a work for which they had no experience and little resources. In 2020, 40 years later, Mercy Housing has sharpened its focus on the original reason for Mercy Housing, the residents, living not in units, but in homes within engaged and inclusive communities. We are about the serious and compassionate business of empowering residents to live into their dreams for themselves and their families. Mercy Housing has had the gift of 3 passionate and courageous presidents. In 2020, we experienced the retirement of Jane Graff as our 3rd President and Chief Executive Officer. Jane's passionate and creative ministering in Mercy Housing for 32 years, 6 of those as president. In 2020, the Board of Trustees, after an extensive national search, appointed Ishmael Guerrero as its 4th President and Chief Executive Officer. Ishmael comes to Mercy Housing with extensive experience and skill in the nonprofit and public housing development. My interaction with Ishmael these last 4 months can be summarized in 3 words. He gets us. So now, let us begin the celebration of how far Mercy Housing has come through faith and action, and renew our efforts to empower residents and make our voice heard in local, state, and national arenas as advocates and trustworthy partners to make affordable, quality rental housing accessible to all in this country. And now I'd like to turn over things to our wonderful MC, former Denver Bronco, Mr. Reggie Rivers.
Well, those are inspiring words from Sita and Sister Linda to kick things off tonight. We'll hear more from both of them later. I'm Reggie Rivers. I'm a former Denver Bronco, and I'm proud to be your host for this event tonight. I'm a big fan of Mercy Housing and the incredible work that they do. Let's start off with some facts here. Did you know that 1 in 4 U.S. housing markets is unaffordable? Did you know that 1 in 6 Americans is spending more than half of their income on housing? And only 2 in 10 people in our country say they could live off their savings for 6 months. Well, friends, we are in month 6 of this COVID-19 pandemic, and the need has become even more clear. We don't just need affordable housing. We need program-enriched housing that provides equitable resources to families, seniors, and people with special needs. Only then can we expect to help our neighbors sustainably and permanently lift themselves out of poverty. Now, this is the work that Mercy Housing has been doing for 40 years. They built into that mission are the words of Sister Mary Therese Tracy, "We can do better." Tonight, we'd like to invite you into that mission with a simple call. Just imagine everyone had a place to call home. Imagine everyone had the supportive community to achieve their dreams. Tonight, we can start building that community with your help. Now, this virtual event has 3 goals. Number 1, we want to celebrate the work of affordable housing pioneers. Number 2, we want to inform you about the issue and how Mercy Housing is addressing it. And number 3, we want to raise money. Mercy Housing has a big goal, $500,000 for the Just Imagine Fund. That's a big number, but we can do it together. I wonder if we could do it tonight. right? I mean, that's a big number, but let's see what we could do. And we'll do it with gifts of all kinds. That's why we've created 3 ways to give tonight. You can start by going to justimagine.givesmart.com. There you can fund a need. Now the needs range from a $25 housewarming gift to a $500 gift to stock a food pantry at a Mercy Housing property. So that's giving option number 1. Now giving option number 2 is raising a virtual paddle tonight. This will happen during our paddle raiser portion of the evening, and we'll talk about different goals and how your gifts can help achieve those goals. And we'll recognize some donors in real time. This is part of the event coming up in about 15 minutes. Now, option 3, you can choose a simple donation at the bottom of the justimagine.givesmart.com page to give whatever amount you might be able to contribute. Tonight, it's not all business, but I'd like to introduce my co-host this evening, Mercy Housing CEO, Mr. Ismael Guerrero. Ismael, what else do you have planned for us tonight?
Hi, Reggie. It's great to be here with you. And hi to everybody watching from home. Tonight, we've got watch parties happening across the country. And we'll take time to stop by and say hi to a couple of different parties tonight. We'll also celebrate our dear friend, Jane Graff, our retiring CEO. She's meant a great deal to this organization, and we want to see her off right. Most importantly, we'll hear from Mercy Housing residents, including me sitting down for a conversation with one of our young residents from here in Colorado. We're also incredibly honored to have a young man with a powerful story and a successful artist perform his original poem. He'll be kicking off the evening shortly with a heartfelt reflection. All along the way, we'll hear from our incredible sponsors who made it possible for us to be here with you tonight in a safe, socially distant way. But first, we know that there are a lot of people who are new to Mercy Housing. And so we wanted to start things off with a little introduction narrated by who else? Jane Graff. Take it away, Jane.
Sister Timothy Marie O'Rourke, Sister Mary Therese Tracy, Sister Lillian Murphy. These Sisters of Mercy practiced law. They administered hospitals. They led organizations. But above all, they were observers, listeners, and women of action. They saw a problem, they heard a need, and they responded. In 1981, Sister Timothy Marie saw families facing eviction. She listened to stories of horrible conditions, and she made a vow. We can do better. We can help. Through that vow, Mercy Housing was born. In the 33 years I've been here, I've seen us become much more than an affordable housing provider. And we've seen a lot together. We were shaken to our core on September 11th, 2001. In 2008, our economy and industry were upended by the foreclosure crisis. Now we face a pandemic that threatens to tear the fabric of our communities, the very thing we work to build each day. These are unprecedented times, and yet we feel as prepared as ever. We've listened to the Seattle mother of twin boys who felt the pangs of social distancing long before that was a household term. And we've learned to combat isolation through a sense of common humanity and a network of partners that connect kids to schools and parents to mentors. Essential services are something we've long provided to our residents in moments of crisis. And at this very hour, we've ratcheted up our efforts tenfold. That includes everyone from coordinators to janitors coming together in Wheaton, Illinois, to build innovative, safe supply chains for the delivery of food, nutrition, and health supplies. These uncertain times have not broken the spirit of Mercy Housing, and never has that been more clear than in the letters we've received from residents across the country.
My name is VJ, and I'm the son of Tony. I want to extend my extreme thanks for the care packages you provided to my mother yesterday. She is self-isolating and was feeling insecure and scared. Now she knows she's going to be okay.
My sincere thanks to Shabila for thinking of us. especially the people in my high-risk category. Even as I'm alone inside my home, I know I'm cared for.
Dear Sarah, just a short note to say you're doing a fantastic job looking after us. This is a trying time we're experiencing, overwhelming and worrisome, but if we have faith and love, we can overcome our obstacles.
Each resident ends their letter with the question, how can I help? When I read the words of Sister Timothy Marie flowing from the very residents she set out to serve, I see our mission reflected in them, and I hear her vow as strong as ever. There's always more we can do to help.
Well, thank you, Jane, for those moving and centering words. Now we'd like to introduce PJ Sykes, who you may know better by his stage name, Prince Lit. PJ is an impressive young man. He's overcome many obstacles in his life, including homelessness. Tonight, he has an inspiring reflection to share about what home means to him. And after that, we'll enjoy PJ's powerful poem, Elevate, which was captured live at the Denver Art Museum in front of the Jordan Castile exhibit. For those of you who don't know who Jordan Castile is, she is a renowned artist whose work is a stunning tribute to the lives of Black and Brown Americans.
Hi, my name is PJ. I'm an artist here in Denver, Colorado. My artist name is Prince Lit. Currently working on an album. The Lord's changing a lot in my life, my gift, just life, my heart. When I was young, I was always going from place to place. I was always couch surfing. I was always sleeping on the streets. There was a couple times where I was in shelters, and me and my family, we really didn't have the means to get to where we needed to go or do the things that we needed to do. After a while, you just don't have a home. After a while, I found my home in my heart, and the gift that the Lord has given me is it's a house. It is my home. When you don't know where you're gonna go, what to do, and you have all these issues in your heart, these issues of life, and you're just trying to figure out what's going on, or if you have the resources that you need, you just spill out and you realize that your heart is your home. I think one of the problems that I've struggled with in my life is that I haven't had a solid foundation. And when I figured out that my home was in my heart and my home is my gift, that brought that foundation into my life. It would be crazy just to imagine other people's homes being built inside their hearts, planting a seed into other people and having their homes built and inviting other people into their homes and constantly building upon that foundation. So when I wrote this poem, there's a lot of things happening. There's riots going on in Chicago. This was nothing new, of course. There's always been riots and things happening, and the struggle for African American men and just the struggle for African Americans and people who are different. This poem, Elevate, like I said, I wrote it, is really cool. It's just about elevation. Like, when I'm bringing you into this gift and I'm bringing you into my home, I want you to get to the first floor, and I want you to realize that, hey, it may be a little bit messy, you know, the beginning of the poem, you know, it may be a little bit messy. The second part of the poem, you know, it's where I sleep. It's cleaned up, it's nice. The third part of the poem is where all the treasures and where all the gold is at, where all the gold in the house and the treasures are at in the mansion. That's where I want to bring. That's where I want to bring people in this poem, and that's why I called it Elevate. There's nothing that could explain the poem better other than the poem itself. I'm really not trying to give away that much, but I do. I want to bring you from one level to the next, because it's the Father's house. It's where we're at, and it's time for change.
Where to start? Open up the windows of my broken heart. We gotta set the a la carte and how they play the in part just to get a kickstart to Picasso's art. Who bout to snitch? I guess time will tell. Black and rich too, get the hammer and nail. They say put up or shut up, stay weak or get tough. If I got my hands up, best wishes, good luck. See, I had to look back on another system with lag. On another system with the power to racially detract and say that that's fact in order to keep track. And they wonder what's gotten into me. Patience and some hostility. Love, meekness, but overall my humility. See, I found a little eulogy in my fluency. Take a step forward, I don't feel what they can do to me. But shh, hold up, that's a secret best kept. Rewrite the history, say that it's a mystery. Black Lives Matter was too close to a victory. But it ain't just me, you better worry if you different. Power to say nothing, we don't need a Fifth Amendment. We gotta break down the barriers, poison call it hysteria. Divided or united alone, then we gon' bury ya. This a type of life to turn princes to kings, benches to dreams, nothing's to means, the invisible things that be making it to the scene. But bet you gon' see me, the foster kid had a plan. Abandoned, left alone, I had to conquer foreign land. I ain't need no dirty hands for those of us left to stand. We ain't had nothing, so we wanted on demand. Ain't nobody sweet, they ain't building us no buttercups. We making means to an end, so how the heck we gon' live it up?
Wow, what a powerful reflection on the meaning of home. Good job, PJ. Now, I hope we all consider the idea of making a home for ourselves in our own hearts and then sharing that home with others. Now, we showed you a shortened version of that poem. If you want to read the full poem, please visit mercyhousing.org/justimagine. Again, that's mercyhousing.org/justimagine. Now, we do have donations that are coming in, and want to let you know, thank you to Cindy Haller. She donated $1. Cindy, thank you very much. Want to give a shout out to Sister Diane Henya out in California. She donated $100. Thank you. And we have from Atlanta, James Alexander. He's donated $1,000. Thank you very much. Oh, and I see, look at this. We have a great start to the evening. Here's a gift, $25,000 from Barry Zegas and Jody Levin Epstein. Thank you guys so much. Our total fundraising so far, we're at $74,000 raised so far. That is amazing. Continue, get those donations in at justimagine.givesmart.com. That's justimagine.givesmart.com, or you can click through to GiveSmart from the texts and emails that you have been receiving. All right, now I'm excited to introduce a young woman who currently lives with her family here in Denver at Holly Park. Sept came to the United States from the Ivory Coast. She was fleeing a civil war in her own country. Now she's a junior at Metro State University. She's studying social work, and she has an important message about how the world sees affordable housing versus the reality of the supportive community that she calls home.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next segment, which is an opportunity to sit and have a great conversation with one of our young residents, Sept. So Sept, we both come from similar backgrounds, actually, in that we both come from immigrant families and are sort of first generation here in the U.S. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your immigration story and how you came here?
I came here from the Ivory Coast, not directly. First, we had to step out of a refugee camp. So there was a war in my country, Côte d'Ivoire, in 2001, a civil war. We kind of had to flee, and we ended up in a refugee camp for about 2-3 years. And yeah, we were picked up by the UN. Our first ever housing was, of course, Mercy Housing, and it was the Grace Apartment that we stayed at for 4 years, and then we moved out to a different Mercy Housing, which is Holly Park.
What does home mean to you? When you think about home, what does that mean? What does that feel like for you?
This is kind of cheesy, but when I think of home, I think of my mom, which is weird. I don't know why, but home is just a place where you feel comfortable. You feel like you can be yourself. You feel like you are accepted by everybody that shares that home with you. Like we lived in a tent in a refugee camp. So coming from that and then being in your own little space and having your own room, even though I had to share, but having your own room and knowing you can like lock the door to your house, it meant a lot. I'm still friends with like 3 of my friends that I met in elementary school, and they were both like, well, all 3 of them were refugees too. So we all met at Grace's apartment, and we're still like friends still today, going to college. They moved like different states, but we're still like
still close friends.
Yeah, still in touch. I don't like people thinking about like when I think of like low income housing as like Black and brown, like almost like projects that when people think of low income housing, that's what they think of. Like at Holly Park, we're really diverse. All the programs that were put in place at Holly Park helped me become who I am today. Peace Pal, we went on different trips. We had a garden, and those things that people really don't think about when I think of like low income housing, we had. I was in ballet, and like you never really see a lot of Black girls in ballet because they can't afford it. But because of Holly Park and because like my connection to one of the leaders, Stormy, that we had, she was like, well, if you want to do ballet, here are like some of the classes that you can take. Like the little kids that lived there, like they all went on and became like, we have nurses and we have police officers. Is that sense of community that like it kind of makes you like want to stick around. And it's like worth so much more than people think it is.
What was school like when you started school? Did you start in, how old were you when you came here, and what grade did you start in?
I started in 3rd grade, and I was of course behind because back home we didn't have really go to school. So started in 3rd grade, and then they put me back in 1st grade because we had to learn our alphabets and stuff. So I was a really shy kid. I guess I'm still a little shy. Did you have like a similar experience when you started school?
When I was in kindergarten at St. Casimir, I was taught by the Sisters of Mercy. They were the nuns who ran the school. So I have, roots with the sisters back to kindergarten. And another sister who taught me economics and got me into a summer program at Northwestern University, just with other students who were going to be first generation college bound. So I understand that you are in college now at Metro State University. How has that been for you? And tell us about what you're studying and why you got into that major.
In my head, I was like, I'm going to do nursing. I'm going to help people, and then I'm going to make money while helping people. I just wanted to be closer to people than nurses. Like nurses don't really get the chance to actually know that they're patients. I want to be there throughout once they first get like whatever it is that they've been put throughout them recovering and getting the support that they need. And then how I want to like be there to hear them say, oh, I'm a survivor of something. So that's what kind of made me choose social work.
Do you feel like you're a survivor now? Do you feel like you're there? You can say that?
I think I am a survivor. And I feel like anybody that's like an immigrant or like coming from like immigrant parents are survivors, because it's a tough world out there for us, but we stick with it. And with everything that's going on, like everything that's being thrown at us, we keep going.
Yeah, you reminded me of a story that my dad would tell us when he came from Texas, or he crossed the border in Texas. But then he got here and he went to a trade school, became a welder, and ultimately had his own small business, an auto shop in Chicago. It was a great story, it really taught me a lot about what you can do when you kind of set your mind to it, right? You have a goal and you work toward it, and that's definitely what he did. So Sita, you've told us a lot about yourself. You said you have brothers and sisters also, so how are they, and what are they up to, and share us more about your family.
My older brother kind of moved out on his own, so he's like living his best life. My 2 younger sisters, the one closest to me is, she is a sophomore in college and she's attending CCD right now. Then I have the littlest one. Well, she's not little anymore. She's 18.
Is she planning to go to college?
Yeah, of course. She has to. She has to go to college.
That must make your mom really proud.
Yeah, she kind of
had you into college.
Yeah, she kind of had like that plan. She's like, okay, 2 more to go. And then she's kind of like just yeah, she has her life kind of planned out for her.
Yeah.
Like she's letting us do things that she couldn't do. And yeah.
When you think about the future, what do you imagine yourself doing?
Myself in the future, I want to be like in a leadership position where kids can come and talk to me with whatever it is that they're going through, and families can come and talk to me with whatever it is that they might be experiencing. Like as a social worker, in case management, we connect people to resources, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. We just have to know what fits their life and what they can actually get to. I want kids that are like living in Holly Park now to know that this is their home and they're not forgotten, and that they can be great in the future. I want to give them like some of the things that I had when I was growing up, and I grew up literally in low income housings. Like the only two places that I've ever lived is Grace Apartment and now Holly Park. And just them like be that role model for them to be able to be like, oh, like Sita, my mom saw her growing up and now she's like in college. Having them believe in themselves is all that I really want to do. What do you see? What do you think of when you think about the future?
I think about Spalding Street in Chicago, where I grew up, where, as you were saying, we would run outside and play hide and seek and play frozen tag with other kids from the neighborhood. They were Latino, they were Black, they were Polish. Parents knew that we could go outside and play, and it was going to be okay. So I think about creating those kind of great cities, city blocks, those great neighborhoods. Well, Sita, thank you so much for spending some time talking with us. It's very enjoyable, great for everybody to get to know you better. And now we're going to cut back to the show.
Okay. A huge thank you to Sita for sharing her story with us tonight. It takes a lot of vulnerability and courage to welcome us in the way that she did. We appreciate her, and we appreciated her enlightening us to the reality of what she lives with every day. Now, she is a bright star, and we know we'll be seeing big things from her in the future. And speaking of big things, we've got more donations that have come in. We have $1,000 from Eileen Fitzgerald, who works with our longtime partner, Wells Fargo. Thank you very much, Eileen. We've got a $5,000 gift from Melissa Boone with the company Cone Resnick. Thank you very much for that gift. Adrian Crow donated $11,000. Thank you, Adrian. We appreciate you. Bradley Cox donated $5,000. Thank you, Bradley. Paul Newman donated $5,000. Thank you, Paul. And Patricia O'Rourke donated $5,000. Patricia is part of the history of Mercy Housing. She was one of the founders back in the late 80s in Nebraska who got this whole thing started, and now it has grown to be this national organization that is helping people in communities all over the country. Patricia has not stopped her commitment to this organization. Thank you, Patricia. We really appreciate you. I want to say thank you to Michelle Norris for her $100 gift. Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you. And so our grand total from all individual donors right now is $127,000. Remember, we have a goal tonight of raising $500,000. Now, we don't know if we can get there tonight. That's a big number, but we know we've got a lot of people watching. We know we've got a lot of people who want to commit to this. So please, if you're watching at home, there's opportunities to give, and we've got 32 different watch parties happening across the country tonight. Now, normally, we'd be gathered together in person, but obviously things are a little bit different this year. But that's not going to stop us. This pandemic won't stop us from engaging as a community to show support for those who struggle to find affordable housing. So throughout the evening, we're going to check in with different watch parties in different parts of the country. But first, here's a message from one of our generous sponsors, Sister Rosie Marie Jasinski of the Sisters of Bon Secours.
I'm Rosemarie Jasinski, the congregation leader with the Sisters of Bon Secours and serve on the board of Mercy Housing. Together, we know the positive impact of stable housing on health. Imagine affordable homes, realized dreams, healthy communities. We are so proud to be one of the sponsors of this gala event.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that time in our program when you can all get involved to make a difference. We're going to conduct our virtual paddle raiser. Now, we're asking for support at different levels, and we hope that each of you will make at least one donation tonight at a level that matches your means and matches your commitment to the individuals, the families, the senior citizens, and the people with special needs that Mercy Housing serves all over the country. You know that you're playing the paddle raiser game right if you donate more than once tonight. All right, to raise your virtual paddle, you can just go to justimagine.givesmart.com, click on the Raise a Virtual Paddle button, and once you're there, select the paddle that you want to raise, and then you can check out. You may also be getting texts or emails that will direct you right to the virtual paddle raise site, so you can simply click through from your text message or email by checking out and paying now. We will be able to see how much has been raised to reach our goal. So the COVID-19 pandemic has made the needs of this community even more desperate than ever. Individually, any one of us can only do so much, but together as a team, we can make a big impact, and we can help Mercy Housing reach this $500,000 goal. When you think about the number of people who are unemployed right now, you think about the number of people who are sick right now, think about the number of people who have lost loved ones, the number of people who are unable to pay their rent. These people feel lonely, isolated, desperate, hopeless. These people don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to survive this situation. And our theme tonight is just imagine. Well, just imagine how these families feel when Mercy Housing says, we've got you. We can help you. We've got a safe place for your family to sleep. Just imagine how these families feel when they ask Mercy Housing, why are you doing this for us? And how are you able to do this for us? And the answer is, you know what? We held a virtual gala. We told people all over the country what you're going through right now, and these people love you. They care about you. They're committed to you. They have empathy for you. They have compassion for you. They want you to have a safe place to raise your family, and they have contributed the money that allows us to do this for you. Just imagine how powerful that moment is for those families who have hit rock bottom. It's their darkest moment. It's their most desperate moment. They discover that you have not forgotten about them. They realize that you care about them, that you are committed to helping them get through this pandemic. We hope that each of you will make at least one contribution to Mercy Housing tonight. If you've already made a gift, we say thank you, and we encourage you to make another one. Together as a team, we can make a big impact. And I want to let you know, we've got gifts coming. Tony Hernandez from Chicago donated $500. Thank you so much, Tony. Dee Walsh donated $500. Thank you. We appreciate you. Daniel Smith from US Bank gave $150. Thank you. We appreciate all of the gifts that you are sending in. And I want to bring my friend Ismael back out here. And Ismael, I mean, when you think about the work that Mercy Housing does and the money that is coming in, how does this hit you?
Reggie, thanks. This is better than we imagined. The level of support that we're seeing right here, the contributions that are coming in, the number of people who joined us tonight, it's just fantastic. We're super excited, and let's continue. This is a great program already.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's very encouraging and it's powerful. I mean, money is something that moves the world, and when you don't have it and you don't have resources, you don't have opportunity, it's one of the most desperate things. And I know for Mercy Housing, they encounter people who are at their wits' end. They just don't know what they're going to do. And for all of us who have homes, it's easy to take it for granted that they have a place. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who was saying, hey, I saw something funny. There was a guy on a street corner with a sign that said, we'll work for food. And across the street was a shop that had a sign that said help wanted. This was before COVID. This is months ago. And he said, yeah, that's funny. Why didn't you just walk across the street? And I thought, well, that's really misunderstanding the problem. I mean, being homeless is a really insidious, persistent problem that you walk across the street, but as soon as you walk in those doors, you're unkempt. You smell bad, you're dirty, your hands are dirty, your hair is dirty. You're not going to get hired for that job. If you do get hired for that job, Where will you shower? Where will you change your clothes? Where will you wash your clothes? How will you arrive at work every day to do that job? That not having a home hinders all these other things that people do in our lives. We who have homes, we take it for granted. When you arrive at your home, there's food in the refrigerator or in the pantry. There's a place to sleep. There's a bathroom. There's a shower. There's heat. There's shelter. When you don't have a home, you don't have the most basic building block to protect your family and to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. And Mercy Housing is dealing with that problem. They are helping people solve this most basic need so that they can get a job. They have an address. They can buy a car eventually and make payments on a car. They can rehabilitate their lives and start getting back into the life that they want to live. And so we can't do it without all of you. We appreciate you. We got an update on our running total. Ismael, you're going to be amazed by this number. We are at $323,000 raised so far.
All right.
That is amazing. Please.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm sorry,
out
Ismael.
there. I was just saying thank you to everybody who's making their contributions right now.
Yeah, we appreciate them. We can't do it without you. Please keep those donations coming. And remember, the donations don't end with this paddle raiser. Please continue to make your contributions at justimagine.givesmart.com. Again, that's justimagine.givesmart.com. Or you can click through to GiveSmart from any of the text messages or emails that you're getting. We appreciate your generosity. We appreciate your commitment. Ismael, what's up next in our program?
All right, Reggie. Well, first, thank you for talking about how important home is to people and all the challenges that people face when they don't have a good home to come home to. So, of course, the only person who could possibly follow this great moment is our own Jane Graff. Jane has been with us for over 30 years and has made an impact that's going to last generations. Here's a look at the career and impact of a great leader and a mentor to us all.
In the months before Jane Graff retired from Mercy Housing, a pandemic kept her apart from her team. But this self-described people person who thrives on being a problem solver found ways to stay connected.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. It's been 30 days since the first communication came out about the coronavirus.
And it was during that time,
oh yeah, that was good,
Jane became even more grateful for the strength and the depth of Mercy Housing.
How in the world can we have a just world when some people have the ability to shelter in place and others do not? It's not hard to get passionate about something like this when you look at what people are faced with and how hard it is.
I think her impact is one of vision. I mean, when she believes in something, you need to be as convinced of your position, and she will listen.
Jane motivated the Mercy Housing staff at 345 properties in 20 states, right up until her last week,
Alrighty.
when she said goodbye virtually.
It just didn't seem right to slip off into retirement land without having an opportunity to do something by way of saying goodbye and thank you, and being able to introduce to you Ismael Guerrero, our new CEO.
Thank you for all your years of service, Jane, for all you do and continuing that commitment. Well, it's going to be a big loss, but we're glad that you were here when you were and that you left us in such a great place.
Jane joined Mercy Housing in 1987 and took on the role of president and CEO when Sister Lillian Murphy retired in 2014.
My mother, I can't tell you how pleased she was when I went to work for the sisters. It wasn't because they were sisters, although she kind of liked that too, but it was more about the fact that it was a bunch of strong women. And my mother was a very strong woman.
During Jane's tenure, Mercy Housing became the largest nonprofit housing developer in the nation. She received countless recognitions for her leadership. Most recently, Jane was inducted into the Affordable Housing Finances Hall of Fame. And she was named the very first recipient of the Sister Carol Keehan Award from Catholic Health Association.
That's the start. That was the start of the whole collection.
From this boxing nun puppet, Jane built quite a fun and endearing homage to all sisters, and especially the women who founded Mercy Housing.
Of course, up here, Sister Mary Therese Tracy. She's the first CEO. And then, of course, we all know Sister Lillian, who is the second CEO. And then, of course, you probably all know Sister Jean from Loyola, who was the basketball guru. I can find humor in pretty much any situation. I take it all very seriously. But I also believe that humor, it's life-giving and it's healing. And this is serious business. What could be more important than assuring that people have access to housing that they can afford and that's quality and where they can thrive? We've had to be innovative, and we got to figure out what residents need during this time, making sure kids have access to the internet, they have access to devices so they can do this in-home learning, that we can make sure that seniors aren't completely isolated in their apartments, making sure that people are okay and that we can then facilitate what they need.
From starting the nonprofit Specialized Housing to leading Mercy Housing, Jane has been a guiding light for employees, partners, friends, and residents, and her influence will carry on.
I don't see this as an ending my time at Mercy Housing. It's a new chapter in my involvement with Mercy Housing. I think, certainly trying to energize people, raising money to support the work we do. We need to give back. And we need to give back in a meaningful way. Isn't he adorable?
When I think of Jane Grath, I think of call. And by call, I mean that Jane has heart. She has heart for the mission of Mercy Housing. She has had it for 33 years. It's more than most people can say in their lifetime.
As our saying goes, we are Mercy Strong, and we are also Jane Strong.
Jane, thank you so much for all that you've done. I have some incredibly big shoes to fill here. But with the fantastic team that we have at Mercy Housing, including our board and staff, we are ready for a bright future. Now we're going to take some comments that are coming in on our Facebook and YouTube streaming channels. Right now, one comment that I'll share is Ellen Jameson in New York wonders, how many people are watching tonight? Well, the answer, Ellen, is we have over 300 viewers, which means we have over 300 computers plugged in and watching. So we're probably over 400 actual people watching our gala tonight. As you know, the theme for tonight is Just Imagine. There are so many bright futures we can imagine for the affordable housing community. And in fact, we'd love to hear some of your Just Imagine messages tonight as well. On the Facebook and YouTube comment sections, wherever you're watching, let us know what you imagine for the future, a bright future, where we provide healthy homes and supportive services for all to achieve their dreams. In the meantime, here's a message from our sponsors at Peace Health. Not only are they great supporters of Mercy Housing, they're committed to supporting so many other organizations who are doing important work in the social justice space. Enjoy the video.
We are a bridge between timeless values and the communities we serve. And as our world continues to evolve, we will change, yet our mission will endure. With our community partners, we can address the threats to human dignity. At Peace Health, the touchstone of our past is guiding us to the future. A simple, timeless mission. Care for those who need it. Health justice for all.
And now we're going to move on to our Guardian Angels. We've been presenting the Guardian Angels Award for the past 20 years, and we've used it as a way to recognize the many congregations of Catholic women religious. But before we get to this year's 5 honorees, we'd like to recognize our presenting sponsor, Wells Fargo. They've stood with Mercy Housing for many years, and tonight we're proud to welcome their head of community lending and investments, Mr. Vincent Toy.
Hello, my name is Vince Toy, and I'm head of Community Lending and Investment in Wells Fargo Commercial Real Estate Banking Group. With our shared mission to create more affordable housing solutions on behalf of all the Wells Fargo's employees, we are proud to serve as a presenting sponsor for this year's Mercy Housing's Just Imagine Gala. While I wish I could be there in person to break bread and toast the phenomenal work of Mercy Housing with all the supporters, these are unprecedented times. Clearly, the economic downturn caused by COVID-19 has left an even more critical need for safe and affordable places to call home for far too many seniors, families, and people with special needs. Inspired by the vision of founder Sister Timothy Marie O'Rourke and her mantra, "We can do better," Mercy Housing today stands not only as the nation's largest nonprofit provider of affordable housing, but as a true leader in putting residents at the center of their work. Mercy Housing is a leader in recognizing the true power of home, especially when combined with a resident-centric vision to transform lives. We also would like to extend our appreciation to Jane Graff and celebrate her legacy and phenomenal leadership spanning 33 years with Mercy Housing, including the past 6 years as President and Chief Executive Officer. During that time, Wells Fargo has been with you time and again, providing low-income housing tax credit and debt financing, maybe a line of credit, and making more than 100 grants to support Mercy Housing regionally and nationally in the past decade alone. As we continue to work together, we also welcome new President and Chief Executive Officer, Ismael Guerrero. Ismael has deep expertise to bring to this position in such challenging times, as well as a deep commitment and passion to the work of Mercy Housing. Together, with your leadership and the support of funders, including the Wells Fargo Foundation, we imagine a world where everyone has an opportunity to achieve their dreams, develop a bright future, and thrive with a safe and affordable place to call home. Thank you, Jane, Ismael, the Mercy Housing Board, and Mercy Housing supporters. On behalf of Wells Fargo, please enjoy the Just Imagine Gala.
Well, thank you very much, Vince, and thank you so much to the Wells Fargo organization. You've been a wonderful supporter of Mercy Housing, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate all you do for us to allow our ability to sustain and advance this very important mission that Mercy Housing has. My name is Charlie Francis. I am a board member of Mercy Housing. I'm employed by Common Spirit Health, and this year I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the gala. So what I'd like to do is introduce a very special and a very important award that obviously is sponsored by Wells Fargo. It's the Guardian Angels Award and a video that will be forthcoming in just a moment. I want to read to you what the award actually says. For ministries that are care-drenched, mercy-driven, and justice-bold, we recognize with gratitude your unwavering and inspiring commitment. So please, enjoy. For the past 20 years, Mercy Housing has recognized individuals who have provided leadership and inspiration with the Guardian Angel Award. This year, we are thrilled to recognize the congregations of Catholic women religious. This movement of women has responded to a calling and dedicated their lives to serving those in need. Their passion for social justice and fierce advocacy has forever changed countless areas, including education, housing, and healthcare. Tonight, we recognize 5 sisters who have had a meaningful impact in their field and provided outstanding leadership for Mercy Housing. Sister Linda Worthman is a Sister of Mercy, the largest women's congregation in the Americas and the first organization to give Mercy Housing its start. Sister Linda has served in health governance for over 20 years and was a founding member of the Sisters of Mercy Health Corporation, Mercy Health Services, and Catholic Health Ministries. Currently, Sister Linda teaches social work at the University of Detroit Mercy and serves on the board of the University of Detroit Mercy. She also actively serves on the boards of Catholic Health Ministries and Trinity Health. Sister Barbara Bush is a member of the Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati. In 1829, a group of 4 Sisters of Charity moved from their home in Emmitsburg, Maryland, to establish a community in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like their matriarch, St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, the sisters share a vision of strengthening their commitment to the people of Cincinnati through humility, simplicity, and charity. Sister Barb is also the co-founder of Working in Neighborhoods, a 33-year-old nonprofit in Cincinnati dedicated to helping low and moderate income people shape their own communities. She continues today as their executive director and is helping residents address the foreclosure crisis and negotiate fair lending agreements. These agreements have led to the protection of more than 500 homes valued at over $60 million. Sister Diane Henya is a sister of St. Joseph of Orange, where she served as the community's former general counselor. The Sisters of St. Joseph originated in France in 1650 during a time of great civil unrest. In 1836, sisters were sent to the United States, where the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange formed in LaGrange, Illinois in 1912. For years, these sisters retained their founding principles of unity and reconciliation through active, inclusive love for their neighbors and communities. Sister Diane is currently the Vice President of Mission Integration for the Innovation Institute, a healthcare incubator launched in 2013 to focus on transforming healthcare delivery. She is also a trustee of St. Joseph Health Systems, the Rita Trust, and member of the Kennedy Commission, and provides leadership to many healthcare organizations. Sister Patricia McDermott is the president of the Sisters of Mercy of the Americas. She has previously been the president of Sisters of Mercy, Omaha Regional Community, and part of the provincial administrative team for the Sisters of Mercy. Sister Pat was a teacher of pastoral theology at Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., and taught English, journalism, and religion at St. Albert High School in Council Bluffs, Iowa. She is a former board trustee of the Catholic Health Initiatives and the Catholic Health Corporation. Sister Rosie Marie Jasinski is the country leader of the Sisters of Bon Secours USA and is the assistant congregation leader for the Congregation of the Sisters of Bon Secours of Paris. This order of sisters was founded in 1824 in the midst of the French Revolution with the intent of visiting people's homes to provide physical and spiritual care. This act of service is a founding principle that the Sisters of Bon Secours continue to espouse, promoting a kind of healing that addresses the body and the soul. Sister Rosie has served as a healthcare professional for more than 50 years, including positions in hospice home care, management, governance, and administration. She also serves on the board of Bon Secours Ministries, the sponsorship board for the Bon Secours Health System, the Bon Secours Richmond Health System Board, and the National Board of Leadership Council of Women Religious. These Guardian Angel Award recipients embody the spirit of mercy and compassion that has driven the mission of Mercy Housing for decades. Mercy Housing is honored to share the legacy of these remarkable women and continue its mission of bringing love and stability into the communities that they serve.
Well, a sincere thank you to these 5 women and the Catholic sisters they represent. We often think of sisters as meek and humble stewards quietly serving a calling, but these women are fierce. They are committed. They are determined. They have had a lasting impact, not just in our country, but around the world. So it's an honor to bring attention to their achievements tonight. Now, we also want to note we recently received a significant scholarship from Common Spirit, which is a longtime supporter of Mercy Housing. So we appreciate their support of this event, and we want to get you some more updates on our fundraising. We have $1,000 from Joanne Burgess, who is a board member out in California. Thank you very much, Joanne. Michael Bodakin, $500. Thank you very much, Michael. Beth Mullen generously provided a $10,000 donation. Thank you so much, Beth. We appreciate you. Charlie Francis, who is a national board member, donated $1,000, and we are at $411,000 raised so far. Again, if you want to make a contribution, just click the link from GiveSmart in the text or emails, or you can go to justimagine.givesmart.com. If you've already made a gift, make a second one to win the game. If you really want to win this game and you've made a second gift, make a third one. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can get to $500,000. And we're excited to tell you about a challenge. 2 of our watch parties have started a fundraising duel, and we're going to start off by checking in with the lovely and talented Jane Graff. But first, we want to have a quick message from one of our generous sponsors, which is the National Equity Fund.
Hello, I'm Matt Ryline, the CEO of National Equity Fund, and I'm so happy to be celebrating Mercy Housing this evening with all of you. NEF and Mercy have been working together for 3 decades, from our investment in Malden Arms in Chicago in 1991 to 1064 Mission in San Francisco that's under construction right now, and dozens of deals and hundreds of millions of dollars in between. But of course, it's more than just the capital invested or even the units built. It's about the opportunity created for families. So I want to recognize Sister Lillian's legacy and her commitment to ensuring the best opportunities for all Mercy Housing residents. I also want to thank Jane Graff for her incredible leadership of Mercy Housing. She oversaw impressive growth and an expansion of Mercy's vision. So while she might be retiring from Mercy, I'm definitely not letting her retire from the NEF board. And finally, on behalf of the entire NEF team, I want to welcome Ismail. We look forward to celebrating Mercy's success under your leadership. All the best, and cheers.
All right, so we are heading out to San Francisco to check in on Jane Graff and her group of partygoers. Jane and company, how are you guys doing?
Good. Aiden's here. We're at St. Columbo in the community.
Columba, Jane.
Oh, Columba. That was a TV show, Jane. Got my saints all screwed up. And here we are, and we are, not only do we have masks on for COVID, we have masks on because the whole state is burning. And so we're in real high protection mode. So we're here to tell you that whatever Helen Dunlap's party can do, we can do 5 times better.
5 times.
So bring it on, Helen. Bring it on. 5 times better. 5 times of what? We have no idea, but 5 times better.
Jane, am I understanding this correctly, that you're saying whatever Helen's group raises, you're going to match it times 5?
Absolutely.
We can say anything.
Or are you just saying, that you're going to outperform her?
Yeah, no question about that.
Yeah.
Outperformance, that's what we're about.
Okay, great. Well, I know that they're very determined in Chicago, and we're going to check in with them in just a few minutes. We appreciate you guys' commitment and support to Mercy Housing out in San Francisco.
You're here.
All right. Thanks, guys. And now we're going out to Chicago with Helen Dunlap, and I see Kathy is joining from Portland. Hello, ladies.
Hello. We've gathered for the latest in the series of Mercy Galas so that we can make sure all the folks we know contribute and enjoy.
That's wonderful. Well, as you just heard, Jane Graff has thrown down the gauntlet in San Francisco, saying that her group of friends are more generous, nicer, and are wealthier and better than your group of donors. And I just wondered what you thought about that.
Well, let's put it this way. We are going to outraise her. There's no question, unless she counts all those folks that she's going to bring in off the street. And Kathy and I have years of experience, just years of experience doing this. This is probably our 5th gala. So I'm quite certain we can more than best Jane. Kathy, did you have a picture of that? Yeah, see, this is the first gala, the one in San Francisco where they had to make the staff hold back because they didn't have enough food. But you see Kathy and me and Jane and then Patricia over here. Yeah. So we've had a lot of years to learn how to raise money and also learn how to spend it, I might add.
That's wonderful. Well, I see they may have run out of food, but they did not run out of alcohol. Everybody looked very happy in that picture.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely didn't run out of alcohol. That was it. That was it at the Marriott, I think, in San Francisco, that gala.
Yes, ma'am. Well, ladies, we so appreciate you and your support for Mercy Housing. Thank you, Helen, for hosting a party. And I can't say that I'm rooting for you over Jane, but I'm rooting for one of you to win and the other one to come in second place by just $1.
That sounds perfect.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies.
Wow, how exciting is that? Who says raising money can't be fun? You know, here at Mercy, we engage residents by listening, by responding, and supporting them in achieving their dreams and all they can achieve in their life. And we will continue to provide even more affordable housing across the U.S. to meet a very real need. This resident-centered approach is our North Star. It guides all of our decisions, and we are humbled to bring their voices to this space tonight here in this video to come. But first, here's a message from our sponsors at U.S. Bank, who have long adopted and supported our resident-centric approach. So enjoy the videos.
U.S. Bank believes everyone deserves the opportunity to achieve financial stability, and access to affordable housing is a critical part of that. It's why we've partnered with Mercy Housing for more than 20 years to help people take that important step to achieving their possible and reaching their full potential. Through our Community Development Corporation, we've invested over $260 million in more than 40 projects that have created 4,500 affordable housing units, and we've supported these projects with nearly $300 million in loan financing. U.S. Bank is also proud to be a trusted partner of Mercy Housing, not only with their real estate project finance needs, but as their primary operating bank supporting critical day-to-day operating needs. But one of the most important connections we share is a commitment to racial equity. Mercy Housing has been at the table with our Community Development Corporation for years, participating in anti-bias and anti-racism training. To date, more than 30 Mercy Housing employees have participated, more than any of our other partners. Our relationship is a great example of how powerful partnership can be. Together, we do imagine the possibilities as we work to bridge gaps and remove disparities so everyone can achieve their full potential. Congratulations, Mercy Housing, on your 40-year commitment to individuals and communities. We're proud to be your partner in this journey.
My name is Miranda. I am a 40-year-old single mother. I currently, just 2 of my children live with me, my 14-year-old twins. Prior to coronavirus, I was a long-haul driver. I transported dogs, household goods, and vehicles to and from Alaska. And with coronavirus, the border was closed, so I found myself not only unemployed, but also homeless because my job provided me with my place to live.
I'm Molly, this is Miracle. It's just me and her living in my apartment building, and I'm the only one, the only parent that she has. I like my apartment unit. My baby definitely likes it. She likes to roll herself around, and she's starting to crawl, and she's just everywhere in my unit right now. At the Allen Family Center, I could get help finding childcare and supplies for my baby.
So I come to the Allen Family Center pretty regularly to utilize their technology center to do resumes, update my resumes, make them personal for each employer, and apply for jobs. Coming in and him telling me like, yes, we can help you. You're a good candidate. That gave me that confidence boost to know, wait, no, you are still somebody. You are still important. You do have something to offer.
I worked so hard to get into it, to the Golden House apartments, and I'm proud of myself.
Since I was 15, it's just been a roller coaster for me, and there's just been so much help between Mercy Housing, with my family, friends. They do a food bank here. The other day they just did a backpack giveaway. My daughter starts Head Start here soon. They have someone come in who helps to build resumes, helps you to apply for jobs, apply for school. I'm so excited to get back to life. This new apartment helped me to build that strength to say, hey, I'm gonna get back out there.
I was living at my mom's house. My mother took care of her for like 7 years, and later on she just started getting worse and worse. And eventually she died. That kind of left me homeless after we sold the house. So I moved into a homeless shelter. Then I went into the YMCA, so I was okay. And I got a job, but I lost the job. I applied to Mercy, and I've been there ever since. Eventually I saw a sign on Mary's door that said she was looking for people for community health worker. I signed up right away.
Working with Richard, he's very passionate about what he believes in. The whole thing was to introduce more fruits and vegetables to my diet, and I've done that.
When you get something you feel like you can share, you know, people want to share stuff, you know. I think I have something to offer.
When I was in the military, I went in for air traffic control. I became a turnaround instructor, which made me the first black female instructor for the air traffic control school. Before I came to Mercy Housing, it was really, really difficult trying to find accessible housing. It's set up so perfectly for someone who is like me in a wheelchair. The countertops, the stove, everything is at a level where it's safe. I pretty much love everything about my home.
Mayfair Veterans Village is a blessing from God and a blessing from everybody that participated into getting us in here and did something for us vets, that we so much needed.
Know that if I have an issue or I have a problem, I can go knock on their door no matter what time of day or night.
We vets, we have a camaraderie.
We stand for one another, we help one another, we share what we have.
The whole thing with Veterans Villages, I get to be here with her, and I know we're safe.
It's just beyond words. You can't explain how it feels to be here, to have a place that you can call your home and your own.
Mayfair Veterans Village is a lifesaver. It saved my life.
What an amazing diversity of voices in those resident stories. Now, these are important stories for all of us to hear and to reflect upon this evening. And I get to announce more fundraising, and I'm so excited. We have a $10,000 gift from Russ Pitto in San Francisco. Thank you very much, or maybe Pito. Thank you. From the opposite coast in New York City, we have a gift of $1,000 from Joe Riley. Thank you, Joe, very much. We appreciate your generosity. Ladies and gentlemen, our new fundraising total right now is $532,000. The goal coming into the night was $500,000. We're at $532,000. That's like, was that 107% of our goal? But remember Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. If you watch that series, hitting your goal is just the beginning. How far can we take this thing? Let's see how far we can get. Keep those donations coming. And stick around. In a couple of minutes, we'll announce the final fundraising total for the evening. But first, we'd like to acknowledge our final sponsor of the evening, which is Cone Resnick. Not only have they helped make this event possible, they're amazing organizational partners of Mercy Housing. Here's a word from their CEO, David Kessler.
Hi, everyone. I'm David Kessler, CEO of Cone Resnick. Our firm is honored to have worked with the Mercy Housing team for so many years. At Cone Resnick, we believe that our purpose is to help clients whose work helps strengthen communities through affordable housing, healthcare, impact investing, energy, and technology. The impact Mercy Housing has made on our communities for nearly 40 years is measurable. And in the course of this pandemic, your services have never been more essential, which is why we're so proud to support the event tonight. To Jane, your leadership and vision have been inspiring for all of us who have worked with you. I know I speak for some of your old friends here at Cone Resnick when I say that you've made an unforgettable impact on the affordable housing industry and its future. To Ishmael, I know you take the reins with compassion and collaboration to lead Mercy Housing into its next chapter and beyond, creating a better future for all within its reach. We look forward to continuing to support your mission. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, Ismael, I'm looking at the screen. We're at $633,000 raised tonight. That is amazing.
That is incredible, Reggie. Amazing.
Wow. Well, we appreciate your generosity. Please keep those gifts coming. Your generosity doesn't have to end when the end of this program. You can head to the donation page for the next 24 hours. It's justimagine.givesmart.com, and you can continue to make donations. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Before we leave, we want to give one last congratulations to Jane Graff on an incredible career. Thank you to our 5 guardian angels, Sister Linda, Sister Diane, Sister Rosie, Sister Barb, and Sister Pat, and our generous sponsors, our presenting sponsors at Wells Fargo, Cone Resnick, U.S. Bank, the National Equity Fund, and Peace Health, and Bon Secours. We appreciate it. You have paved the way in this new world of hosting a virtual gala. We couldn't have done this without you, with a great staff and phenomenal production partners here at Ground Floor Media. And last but not least, a humble thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. We appreciate you being part of this team. We appreciate that you are imagining and supporting a brighter future. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.